My ferritin was 5, and after years of anemia, I finally raised it to 51. When you have only ever known low iron, you don't realize how heavy life feels until one day it doesn't anymore. No more dizziness, no more hair loss, no more heart palpitations, no more feeling like my body was fighting against me. If you are on your own ferritin recovery journey right now, this one is for you. This is part 2 of my ferritin recovery journey. In this video, I'm sharing exactly what worked, what didn't, how long it took, the mistakes that cost me time, and the lessons that will save you some. By the way, I'm Bambi, and I am on a mission to find out what my body can do when I actually give it what it needs. Disclaimer though, I am not a doctor, I'm just someone with real blood tests and a lot of determination. Alright, let's get into it. Understanding the problem. To solve any problem properly, it's often a good idea to understand it first. I will get to the exact supplements I took in a minute, I promise, but I truly think that everything starts here. It will help you keep going and stay consistent in a journey that can be incredibly long and lonely. Iron deficiency anemia is the story of my life. So much that I got used to the symptoms and they just became my normal, my identity. Getting up too fast and seeing black? Normal. Feeling weak and tired all the time? Normal. Even getting iron infusions from time to time still wasn't enough to make me take my anemia seriously. What changed everything was my hair. I had always dreamed of having long hair since I was a kid, but it never happened for me. Before starting my ferritin journey, I remember watching YouTube videos of women with similar hair textures to mine and thinking, what if I really give it a try? It would be nice to have long hair at least once in my life. So I invested in routines, creams, shampoos, oils, everything. And despite all my efforts, my hair started falling out like never before. I got to a point where I was scared to touch it because every time I did, a huge clump would come out in my hands. I felt completely hopeless. I could only cry. I felt that this time was different. So the sad truth is that the cosmetic reason was stronger than years of chronic health symptoms. So I started doing my research, and that's when I realized that everything is connected. My ferritin being low for years, my vitamin D being low for years, the fibroids that appeared at some point, all the things I had ignored for years were the exact reasons why I was losing my hair. Let's look at ferritin, the topic of this video. It's your iron storage, and when that storage is critically low, your body makes survival choices. It prioritizes your heart, your brain, your vital organs, your hair, your energy, your nails, your hormones. Those go straight to the back of the line. I said straight to the back of the line, please. Thank you so much. When I understood that, I was so angry at myself for pushing my body to that point for so long. But more than that, I finally understood that no cream, no oil, no topical product was ever going to fix my hair. The problem was internal, and the solution had to be internal too. That was my wake-up call. What scared me the most was the prioritization idea. I didn't want my body to have to choose anymore. I wanted to thrive. In the comments, let me know what your wake-up call was. And if you haven't had it yet, I really hope this video does it for you. That's when I booked a doctor's appointment, not to find out what was wrong, because I already knew, but to finally take responsibility and start tracking my data with a complete blood test. The blood work came back, ferritin 5, hemoglobin 6.9, anemia confirmed. That shift of thinking, truly understanding what my body needed and why, is what made everything that followed actually work well. Kind of. You will see that I made some major mistakes along the way. So, if you are watching this and don't know where to start by understanding what's happening in your body. Step 2, get your blood work done. Know your numbers. Start there, okay? Having a baseline matters, in my opinion. It's a very good way for you to assess whether your efforts are paying off later. Now I will share with you the 3 solutions I tested that helped me grow my ferritin from 5 to 51. Moringa. This video is actually part 2 of my ferritin recovery journey. In part 1, I actually break down the Moringa experiment in details. If you missed it, please check it out. It explains my first big mistake. But I forgave myself because I was desperate and above all, very scared of iron supplements from my past experiences. For years, I had been prescribed the same pill, Ferron. That one completely traumatized me. So I didn't want to take any conventional iron supplements and prioritize a more natural approach instead. So I spent 2 months drinking something absolutely disgusting because the internet claimed that it was an iron superfood. Surprisingly, Moringa did make me feel much better. My nails, my hair, my energy were all temporarily improved, but it simply wasn't enough. As a result, my ferritin went from 5 to 6. Embarrassing. But I am nevertheless grateful for this experience because I can share the lessons with you now. First, do your own research. Online, we often see crazy claims like 25 times more iron than spinach. Take the time to double check, okay? Let's take Moringa as an example. The real number, according to a peer-reviewed study, it's at most 3.4 times more iron than dry spinach. Lentils, tofu, amaranth actually have more iron per serving than Moringa. So learn to read nutrition labels to verify whether a solution is actually very rich in iron or not. 2. Test regularly. I've felt so much better physically and mentally that if I hadn't tested, I would have never known that the Moringa wasn't working. So test every 2 to 3 months when you start your supplementation journey to make sure that the ferritin is actually increasing at a good rate. 3. Know your numbers. To treat a true deficiency, you need at least 30 milligrams to 60 of elemental iron per day, and even more in some clinical protocols. 1 teaspoon of Moringa only had 1.3 milligrams. 4. Iron supplements are not all the same, and that I didn't need to be scared. There are other options out there, I just needed to push for them, and I will give you some examples in this video. This experience then led me to my next attempt, standing up for myself and Ferro Sanol. After the Moringa failed, for me, I went back to the doctor to get a proper clinical iron prescription. But this time, I was a new person, I was motivated, and I was ready to stand up for myself for the first time in my life and say no to Ferron. I asked the doctor for an iron pill. He started typing on his keyboard. I was curious, so I asked, "Which one are you prescribing me?"
Ferron.
I knew it. 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 So I said calmly and politely, "Thank you, but I actually don't tolerate that one."
But it's a very good pill. We get great results with it.
I don't give a about you getting great results with it. Kidding. Kidding. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Not out loud, at least. But I couldn't believe how unnecessarily difficult it was just to get an alternative. Then I said, "Honestly, I tried to take this pill all my life. The side effects are really awful. I never managed to take it for more than 1 week or 2 max."
You can maybe try to take it every other day?
I looked at him and I calmly said, "You know what? You can prescribe it, but I'm not going to take it."
Alright then, in this case we also have this one. Ferro Sanol, 40 milligrams. Have you ever tried it?
No, I haven't. I'm very happy to try it, yeah. Thank you. Finally, guys. Finally! So I tried Ferro Sanol. It's more expensive, it's not covered by the public health insurance here in Germany, but I was open to trying anything else. The major lesson here, doctors often work with statistics, which is understandable, but you live in your body. Stand up for yourself. It was uncomfortable and stressful to say no to a medical professional, but I'm glad I did because I managed to take Ferro Sanol for 6.5 long months, 30 minutes before my breakfast, and I had absolutely 0 side effects. And when I retested, then after 6.5 months, my ferritin went from 6 to 25. 25, guys! I was finally out of the red critical zone. I was happy, very happy. Now, I know that some of you might think 19 points of growth in 6.5 months is not much. Honestly, I can't disagree. But my iron supplement dose was only 40 milligrams. And at that point, the true root cause of my deficiency was still to be discovered. I still had to figure out if it was my fibroids or if I potentially have gut issues or something else that are preventing me from absorbing or retaining iron properly. I'm just saying this because on TikTok or Reddit, You can see people showing these crazy, massive increases in 1 month. But at the end of the day, we are all different people with different bodies. Indeed, there are so many potential reasons for an iron deficiency, and everyone's puzzle looks a little bit different. So even if 25 was a slow growth, I still celebrated it. If you have struggled with iron supplement side effects, please know that there are gentler options out there. In fact, if you want even better absorption and zero side effects, stay tuned for the next pill I tried. The normal reference range trap. When my ferritin hit 25, as I said, I was very proud that I requested a phone review with a doctor. It was a different GP this time, and her reaction completely shocked me. She called and said,
"Everything looks good on your blood work."
I could immediately feel that I was wasting her time. I had to be the one to say, yes, but my ferritin is 25. It's not 5 anymore, but it's still pretty low.
Yes, but 25 is good. Many people never even get to that level.
I want my level to be much higher than that.
Well, just keep supplementing then.
For how long? 3 months and we check again?
Yes, if you want.
But will it be possible to also try to find out the root cause of my deficiency so I don't have to take these pills forever?
You are a woman, right? And you have periods, right? So it's normal to have low iron.
In my head, I was like, it's normal? Before I could barely finish my sentence to thank her for her time and wish her a good day, she hung up. That's when I realized 2 things. First, there is a massive difference between the lab's normal range and the optimal range. Lab ranges are just statistical average of a general public, a population where tons of people are already super tired. So a lab sheet might tell you that a ferritin 15 or 20 is normal just because it's common, but hematologist or hair specialist will tell you that ferritin under 30 is a functional deficiency. Optimal ferritin for hair growth, for example, or vibrant energy is actually between 70 and 100. I was only at 25. Second, I realized that I couldn't expect deep root cause care from an overwhelmed GP whose only priority was getting me out of the medical red zone. But for me to get real answers about the why, to find out if it's gut, if it's my fibroids or something else, I knew that I would eventually have to invest money into a private functional medicine practitioner or internal medicine doctor. But I need to be honest with you, at that specific moment, I didn't think that way. I was just super upset and extremely sad after that phone call, so much that I didn't even want to walk back to that clinic to pick up my Ferro Sanol prescription. But luckily I had my strong why. I still wanted my hair to grow, so I didn't give up. That's when I remembered the supplement that I had bought on iHerb months prior, which was just sitting in my kitchen cabinet waiting for its moment. The blood builder breakthrough. From months 8.5 to months 12, I switched to the Mega Food Blood Builder. It's vegan, gluten-free, requires no prescription. You can take it anytime. You don't need to wait 30 minutes before or an hour after your meals. It's incredibly gentle as well. What makes it a game changer is that it pairs iron with vitamin C, folate, B12, the exact cofactors your body needs to actually absorb and utilize iron. But even before taking my next blood test, I could already feel that I was a new person. No more dizziness, my brain fog cleared, my hair loss completely stopped, and for the first time in my entire life, I have nails. Look at these nails. I have never had nails before. What I mean by that is that my nails were extremely short because they were brittle and I was also biting them. They were easy to bite. So 3.5 months after starting the blood builder, I went to get tested again to see if the data matched how I felt. My ferritin shot from 25 to 51. 51! I'm not going to pretend I was calm. I genuinely cried, and I feel like crying right now. I know that some of you might look at me like, girl, calm down, you didn't do much, you just took a pill. But it wasn't just a pill, it wasn't just a number, it was a year of constantly advocating for myself with doctors who didn't have time to listen. It was spending a lot of money on blood tests and supplements, because when you are not in the red zone anymore, nothing is covered by the health insurance. It was months of researching, learning to eat differently. One wondering if my hair will ever stop falling out, and feeling incredibly lonely in a struggle most people around me didn't really understand. Hitting 51 just confirmed that every single bit of it was worth it. Listen, it might be hard for you right now, but I promise you it's worth the fight. Drop a comment below and let me know what has been the hardest part of your iron recovery journey so far. Also, when I finally sat down and looked at the data, I realized something. Think about the math. It took me 6.5 months to crawl up 19 points with Sanol. That's about 3 points a month. But with the blood builder, it took me only 3.5 months to go up 26 points to 51. That's almost 7.5 points a month. I literally more than doubled my speed. Now, I'm not going to say that it's all because of the blood builder and the vitamin C. It could also be that when you are finally out of this dangerous zone, it becomes easier for your body to focus on storing iron versus constantly using it to just make hemoglobin so you can function. Supplement recap. So let's recap the 3 supplements I tried. I know we all live in different places and have access to different options, but if we focus on the type of iron, the absorption rate, and the side effects and the price, I hope this table gives you some ideas on which one might be worth exploring with your doctor. For me, Tardiferin was the cheapest one, but the least effective and the most traumatizing for my stomach. Tardiferin uses ferrous sulfate, which releases right in the stomach, causing major irritation, at least for some people. Only the other 2 were the ones that I could actually tolerate, which stabilizes the iron and allows it to release further down in the gut, making it way gentler. And they were the ones that finally moved the needle for me. So check out supplements using ferrous glycine sulfate or ferrous bisglycinate. Have you tried any of those, or do you have any recommendations for another low iron girly out there? Share it in the comments along with where you are located and what was your experience like. The vegan dip and where I am now. So after hitting my peak of 51, I kept taking blood builder for another 3 months, and I did another follow-up test and my ferritin came back at 49. Was I a little bit disappointed because I was secretly hoping to hit 70? Yes, totally. But was I surprised? Not really. Healing is never a straight line, and I actually made a few massive lifestyle changes during that exact period. First, I transitioned fully to a plant-based diet to help manage my fibroids. Cutting out animal products meant that I was no longer getting heme iron. So when you are a brand new plant-based eater who is already prone to low iron, you have to be extra careful, and I was completely new to it. I didn't really fully understand how to eat high iron meals and balance iron enhancer and inhibitors in this plant-based diet yet. And second, I started taking some traditional herbs for women's health to target my fibroids. This actually led to temporarily heavier menstrual bleeding for a bit before my cycle finally stabilized. So between the dietary shift and the extra blood loss, a tiny 2-point dip actually made total sense. Honestly, the amazing news here is that the blood builder successfully kept my stores completely stable in the high 40s despite such a huge transition. If you're on a similar diet, make sure you subscribe to my channel because I'm planning a video where I'm going to share plant-based, iron-rich, absorption-optimized recipes. Although I need to be honest with you that I am considering reintroducing maybe quality fish and eggs to my diet. In the meantime, my next goal is actually clear, guys. Ferritin 100. But I'm a bit realistic, so let's say 70 to 100 would be great. And this time, I'm documenting the entire journey, the recipes, the doctors, the blood tests in real time. You are part of that journey now. Are you joining? If you find this video helpful, I will truly appreciate a like to help keep me motivated for this next phase. But before you go, extra tips. track enhancers and inhibitors. Take your iron with vitamin C. Keep the coffee, the tea, the calcium at least 2 hours away from your iron dose. I personally decided to just cut them out from my diet, but I understand that some people cannot live without their coffees. 2. Try to find the root cause. Supplementing is ideally a temporary tool to pay off your iron debt, but once your stores are full, your ultimate goal should be a lifestyle and a diet that supports your levels so you can eventually stop taking the pills. So if you can try whenever you are ready to figure out why you are losing iron, whether it's the diets, the intense sport, the heavy period, don't just pour water into a bucket with holes in it. And last but not least, don't try to do everything at once. I did this entire process completely step by step. Honestly, that's also a big part of why it took me a year. But it was the best way for me to stay consistent because I get easily overwhelmed and usually just give up. At the very beginning, I remember that just being consistent with taking one single pill every day was a massive win for me. Journey is already stressful enough, so pick one habit, master it, and then take the next step. If you're watching right now and your ferritin is 5, 15, 40, or anything in between or above, I hope this video made you feel a little bit less alone. I hope it proves you that the effort is worth it. For me, my anchor was saving my hair. For you, it might be your energy, your mental health, fertility, or just wanting to feel like yourself again. Whatever it is, hold on to that reason and keep pushing. Thank you so much for watching and for being here. Bisous, bisous, and see you in the next one. Bye!